Hey y'all, I think it's time that we have a face-to-face, okay? I really miss you guys, and I understand that this online schooling thing is really out of some of your comfort zones. It's out of some of our teachers' comfort zones as well, okay? But we're gonna do the best we can, and we just need to work through that, okay? But this is a very, very important message, and I need y'all to hear me, please, okay? I started to type this, and things were in capital letters, and it just wasn't working. So I'm just gonna lay it out to you, okay? Please, please, please do not start at the beginning of Edgenuity for math and work your way all the way through. If you are in my math class, my Algebra 2 class, or my geometry class, you are not to do all of Edgenuity for mathematics. Please don't do that. You will be super frustrated and you're going to do way more work than you need to. Okay, you really don't need to do that. Okay, so your other teachers might want you to do that. You need to make sure that you are going into Google Classroom every day before you start doing work and looking specifically what those tasks are that your teachers are asking you to do, and only do those things. Okay, with that being said, when you first go into Google Classroom for a very brand new class that you haven't worked on at all for, okay, please make sure you do two things. Okay, one, scroll to the very bottom of the stream, which is where all the messages are, and make sure you read through all of the messages that your teacher has posted for you. Okay, there's important information there from weeks ago that you need to make sure that you get if you have not yet read that. Okay, every day, check the stream for new information from your teacher. Okay, secondly, when you go to the classwork tab, okay, click on classwork. You need to start at the bottom of the list because those were the first assignments that were given, the first instruction. Okay, you need to do assignment 1 first, video 1, lesson 1, do the assignment. Then go to lesson 2, video for lesson 2, and do the assignment for lesson 2 because they build on each other. If you start at the top with the most recent information and work your way down, it's like taking the test before you learn any of the material. You would not do that in a regular classroom setting, okay? So always start at the bottom. If you get behind, some of you are just logging in now. Some of you haven't even logged in yet. It's okay. Whenever you get to log in the first time, you start at the bottom and you work your way to the top, okay? Try to get yourself back up to date, current as much as you can. Don't freak out, okay? Don't stay up all night doing your work. Well, some of you are going to stay up all night anyway, but doing work at that time is okay. But again, don't freak out, okay? The other thing is that when I post something on Edgenuity for you to do, what it's going to show up as, it's going to show up as a task in Google Classroom. It'll be an assignment in Google Classroom, and it'll specifically say, go to this one lesson or this one quiz is really probably what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be giving you videos and assignments, and then I'm going to have you go to Edgenuity every week and a half or so and do one quiz from Edgenuity. But you got to make sure you go to the right lesson. Okay, so some of you started with like graphing stuff. We haven't even talked about graphing rational expressions. Some of you in geometry, you went to parallelograms. We're not talking about parallelograms. We're talking about polygons and area, interior, and exterior angles of those polygons. So please make sure you are reading specifically where to go for that. The other thing is that when I do have those assignments in Google Classroom, for you to go into Edgenuity to do something, if you could come back into Google Classroom when you're done and click the little tab in the corner of your assignment that says I'm done or turn in or whatever. Okay, it's not grading from Google Classroom, but that's a way that I can have a record in my grade book, my classwork, my Google Classroom grade book of you completing that work, and then I can go into Edgenuity and look for it. Okay, so let's see, what else? Zoom meetings are held every weekday morning, not tomorrow because tomorrow is a holiday, tomorrow Friday, April 10th, and Monday, April 13th, is that Monday? That will be a holiday as well. So every other regular school day, I will be on Zoom from 9 to 10 to answer any questions. I will try to get on between 4 and 5 again. That one is getting to be a little bit more complicated as my kids are doing their own online learning, and we have Taekwondo during that time for my son online, and all kinds of stuff are going on. So if I'm not available or if you can't meet me from 9 to 10 for the Zoom meeting, then send me a text. send me a message through email or whatever. Y'all have been doing a good job of that, and say, hey, I have a question. Can we meet up? The nice thing about being on Zoom is that I can see your paper, you can see my paper, we can talk about it, we can go face to face a little bit easier than texting back and forth and stuff like that. Okay. All right. So again, important things. Read your stream every day. Make sure you're getting those announcements from your teacher. Make sure you're going to your classwork. There is a to-do list that combines all of your work for all of your classes. I think that could be a bit overwhelming. So I would stick with the classwork tab for each individual class. That's just my suggestion. I've noticed that that's a little bit easier as I'm working with my son on his work. And then it does show up, I can't show it to you here, but it does show up as like a pink circle, or whatever color the circle is. It's like highlighted almost, the icon, if you haven't done it yet. And then once you complete that or submit it or turn it in, then it turns to kind of like a grayish type color or a lighter type color to show that you have completed that. It'll still be there under the classwork, it just takes a different color. If you're in the to-do list, it pushes this into a different tab where it says this stuff is done, this stuff you still have yet to do. So you just kind of need to figure that out for yourself, which one works better. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Please, please, please make sure that you have the direct instructions from each of your teachers as to what you're supposed to be doing. Please don't try to make stuff up and be like, oh, I think I'm just going to do this. Then you're going to end up going back and doing a whole bunch of extra work, especially if it's Edgenuity. Okay, Edgenuity for math is fairly complicated. Okay, so I don't want you really hitting all that. Okay, all right. Well, it sounds like my children are all coming out of the woodwork, so all the sounds are coming. But please, please, please come see me. I'd love to see your face, give you a virtual hug. I love you. I miss you. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay? All right. Bye.